Um, ba-dum. Let's see. Let's see how big this delay is, actually. Is my delay large or small? My delay is large-ish. Hello, good morning! Wherever you are. It's morning for me, still. Just barely on the cusp of morning. How is everybody? I'm starting a little early today so that we can get everything out of the way, like testing for audio and stuff like that before the stream actually starts. So I'm not late today. I'm early. That's new. That's a new thing. How many of you are giving up sleep to be here? That's what I want to know. Oh, welcome new members. Just a reminder, since there are people joining up as members right now, let's mention this first. All members, regardless of tiers, get access to my Discord. And sometimes YouTube and Discord take a while to talk to each other, and I'm not quite sure why, and I'm not sure if there's a way to speed it up, but sometimes it takes anywhere from like an hour to like 12 hours before the channel will show up on your Discord account. So just be aware of that. That's pretty normal. I don't know what the issue is. I'll try and fix it if I can, but we'll see. Caffrey, thanks for the super chat. Sleep, what's that? Good morning, everyone, and hope you're all having a great day. It's Sunday. I hope everyone's having a good day. Although I suppose for some people it's Monday. Is it Saturday for anybody? I wonder. Oh, okay. So, if some of you are playing along, with the turn up my mic. My mic volume's pretty high. My mic volume's pretty high. If I put it up any higher, I'm gonna go into the red. Right, no, okay, so I was asked about Dottore doing the Bibble. I have to clarify something because it occurred to me that a lot of people won't know what the Bibble is. This is Bibble. But he's from a Barbie movie, but he became a meme because of this one image that he has in the movie. And like Scaramouche does this in the Inazuma cutscene. And so like it's becoming a Harbinger thing because I think Child does it when he's summoning Osile, and then I think Senora does it when she becomes a Crimson Witch of Flames, and Scaramouche does it in the Delusion Factory. And so I'm waiting for Dottore to do the Bibble. So that's what this tile is, if you get it. I probably should have said the Elmo because I think more people know about the Elmo with the flames in the background than the Bibble, but yeah, this is Bibble. Anyway. Oh, yep. Anyway. Oh, I'm probably making a lot of people feel old. Dottore kind of starts to do the Bibble in the 3.1, but he doesn't do like a full Bibble. He needs to do a full Bibble. Also, by the by, the bingo card as it's been constructed is really only supposed to be for things that we're gonna see in the trailer and not necessarily things that I think will happen in the whole patch. It's only stuff that's gonna be mentioned in the trailer. So that's why some of the predictions might be like, wait, why is this a thing? Or why didn't you include X or, any of that kind of stuff. So that's that whole thing. And the 3.23 transmission in 30 minutes. What? If I zoom in on the bingo card, though, like, it's gonna be too big and it's gonna take up too much of the screen. What I will do, just for a little bit, just so you guys can see it, we'll go over the tiles on my bingo. But it's gonna stay super small in the upper left-hand corner just because I don't want to block too much of the screen. Okay. If you guys want to play along, there is a URL in the description box. Please copy and paste the whole thing into a new tab. Try not to click it. The hashtag in the URL screws up the like the redirection from YouTube. So like copy and paste the whole thing and go from there. You should get a screen that says generate, and then you can generate a randomized bingo card. That's unique for you. The Discord can be linked, but even if you try to join it, you're not going to be able to unless you have a member role attached. So the only way to really get into the Discord is to go through your membership, and then you're going to want to go to your settings, and then there should be something like integrations, and then you should be able to connect your account directly to your YouTube account, and that will automatically bring the server up for you. So that's that. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go through my bingo card. Mine is randomized just like everybody else's. I have like double the options that you could have. So your card may not have something that's on mine, and mine might have something that's not on yours. So or vice versa. I don't remember what I said. Anyway, I have currently artifact loadouts because I really want them, and I'm gonna ask for them every time. And then Leyline Overflow feels like a no-brainer at this point. I'm thinking we might get some anime info, at least like maybe not a teaser or a trailer or anything, but they did just release like another teaser kind of thing, so I'm wondering if they'll give us a little information. Resin increase is also like a copium thing. I just want them to hit 200 resin. Right? Like I don't need like a huge increase. I just want 200 because I feel like you should be able to like have a whole day's worth of resin able to be stored per day. 160 is a weird number. But then again, that's the number of primo gems it takes to summon, which is also kind of weird when you think about it, so whatever. I was hoping we'd get a Gnosis reveal for either Dendro or Electro, maybe in the trailer, or a teaser for it. I just want a little bit. Hoping for some TCG news, and then also TCG player versus player mode. So like, co-op, TCG. Those are two different things. Plot-wise, I wanted to see something like Alhaitham getting outwitted, or like trying to think like he's controlling the situation, but then Academia goes, aha! And he's like, oh no! Or something like that. Because I think it'd be funny. He needs to be humbled a little bit. Hoping for a new Harbinger teaser. I don't think we're gonna get it. Nilo dancing, because for some reason she's dancing in every single trailer, which I know that's her thing. She's a dancer, but like, she's not usually like portrayed doing anything else except dancing, even though she's having like normal conversations, and I just think it's funny. Then we've got Dotori doing the Bibble. We've already gone over that. I have an idea that Scaramouche is actually underground. I was watching the scene where Ether and Nahida swap bodies for a second, and it actually looked like she was well, I guess that was Ether at the time, was having a vision where he was going underground with a bunch of pipes and everything, and so that's where I think Scaramouche is. I don't know if we'll see that. We'll see. I was hoping they'd mention the Scarlet King again because I want some clarification on some stuff. Some ominous shadow of someone we don't recognize. Maybe a Harbinger, maybe not. We'll see. I want to see Akasha terminals malfunction. Hoping for Animo Scaramouche instead of Electro, because I really want the Fujin prediction to be true. So hopefully that. If it happens in boss form, that also counts. New weekly boss, because Nahida, I think we'll have a new weekly boss. I don't know about Layla. We'll see. Hoping for some Notlin crumbs if we're lucky. Maybe we'll see another Dotori clone or two Dotoris at the same time. That'd be cool. Hypatia does a silly, just because she was doing that weird thing where she was like really simping for Scaramouche and going kind of nuts. I was kind of hoping to see her do something like that. again because it was funny. I wanted to see a stealth level teased because I think they'll do it again. Hoping for some teased vision lore. I'm not hopeful, but I'm hoping for it. And then an Elazar mention, please, and thank you. And Sino getting into a fight with his bosses, or I guess they're technically his bosses. Yeah, sort of, kind of. Yeah, fighting the sages. I want him to do that. Anyway, no spoilers in the chat, please. If you guys have already watched the Twitch one. I haven't watched the Twitch one. I'm kind of boycotting the Twitch live streams because they're really aggravating to watch. Whenever I do them, they never start on time, and then the ads play, and I miss like the whole half of the trailer, and it's the most infuriating thing. So I that's why I don't do the Twitch streams. Anyway. Anyway. Oh, it's true. I didn't get the Zach gets bullied spot. Yeah, it's basically another free spot. Yep. But again, these things are completely randomized. So mine may or may not have. I'll see if I can. There. I'm trying to keep it so it won't cover too much of the screen for you, but still visible. Yeah. Where does the Moochie equals Scara thing come from? Because his name is Scaramouche. So if you take out the Scara part, you're left with Moosh. But you don't want to call him Moosh because he's not mushy. So he's a Moochie. Because it's cute. Right? All right, I wanna test something real quick. What's Hypatia? Do you not remember? Did you play 3.1? She's the blue-haired scholar that, like, passes out from incense. Broadcast starts in about 20 minutes. We're a little early. We can do, like, some Q&A and stuff in the meantime. But I wanted to test this out real quick. I just wanted to see if the audio is good here for you guys. Can you guys hear okay? Desktop being louder or no? Little low. Okay. All right, hang on. Let's up the audio just a bit and try again. Is that any better? A little more balanced? Okay, cool. I actually need to watch this whole thing at some point because it looks really cool. It's like, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's basically like the behind the scenes in the process of making the music for Sumeru. It just looks really cool. Yeah. Guys, if you haven't played through version 3.1, I don't necessarily recommend watching a live stream for version 3.2. Like, no offense, unless you like spoilers. But, you know. Warm up for 3. Yeah, well, sometimes I have technical difficulties. I often have technical difficulties. So I like to get rid of them before the stream starts, so there's no surprises. You know. Do you need to finish the underground plate stuff to play the update? What underground plate stuff? What do you mean? What, the desert stuff? I mean, I would say that, like, on the whole, the thing that's, like, necessary to play through for each patch is mostly just the Archon quests. For lore videos, I'll usually tell you what quests that are new that you should have gone through, unless you want to be spoiled on them. But, like, generally, the live streams don't really focus on the world quests as spoilers. Like, they don't make them necessary to understanding what's going on. You know what I mean? So really just need to do the Archon quests, I think. That's how it goes. You want another quest longer than the Aranyaka quest? Why? The Aranyaka quest was like a 24-hour quest for the most part. Like total 24 hours straight. Which is crazy. Cuz like there are games, whole story-based games that take that long to complete. They basically put a game within their game. Like a completely self-contained game. It's ridiculous anyway. No more finding. I actually did finally go through and find all the R and Rs. I wasn't missing that many. I think I was only missing like 3 or 4, but I went to go back and get the final chests for it and then realized that I still couldn't open them and I was like, "Oh no, I've missed one R and R somewhere." And I was so upset, and so then I didn't look at it for like several days, and then I picked out a video guide, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna watch through this and see if there's anything that I don't recognize, and kind of like go along with it. Um, and the very first R&R that they put in that video was the one I was missing, and I was like, oh, okay. That was awful. That was awful. The Golden Slumber quest doesn't actually tell us much that's new, that's not in a lot of the weapon lore or the weapon material lore or artifacts or anything else. Like it's basically just a confirmation, and then you get to see things for yourself. But ultimately, the story that's in there is nothing new from 3.0, which is interesting. I was hoping to learn something new, and I didn't, so that's fun. How do we know that we were missing how many R? If you do the treasure hunt, what is that one called? There's part of the Aranyaka book where you like get photos and then you go find treasure, right? You have to do 10 of those. And doing the last one will unlock this room that's full of treasure chests. Like just literally chock full of treasure chests. And I think you need like 4 Aranara per chest. So you need to find 4. So you can basically tell how many Aranara you have roughly within 2 or 3, depending on how many chests you have that can open and stuff. I'm okay. Listen. I know how much weapon lore is in this game. All right, but like, yeah, I'll do a whole complete history of the desert. The problem with it, and the reason why I'm kind of hesitating and doing it soon, is because it looks like there's a whole nother desert to the north, and I'm worried that I'll put this whole thing together, and then we'll go to that region, and then I'll have to redo the whole thing again. Like, it's one thing for a theory to go through that, because it's fine. Like, theories are meant to be proven or disproven. Like, they're kind of semi-predictions. But, like, when I make a lore video, I want to make sure it's going to have some sort of staying power beyond, like, a patch. Just because it's lore, right? Like, it shouldn't change that much. But anyway. Rentaro, thanks for the super chat. I think Genshin World Quest should be voiced like story. Yes! Absolutely. They should absolutely be voiced. And it's really upsetting to me because like some of the world quests are like the best quests and the best stories in the game, and a lot of people don't read them. And I can't really blame them because like all of the interesting, primary stuff that the game produces is all voiced, you know. So you kind of like get into that mindset, and then you're just not used to reading things for more than like 20 seconds when you don't have to listen to voices, So I get that. I totally get that. But oh my god. I was so upset when the Sacred Sakura cleansing quest wasn't voiced. Aranyaka's not voiced. Golden Slumber's not voiced. Like, the whole of Surumi Island wasn't voiced, which was infuriating. You know, like I really wish those were voiced. Or even like partly voiced, you know, like I don't know. Surumi not being voiced was an absolute travesty. That place is still so creepy. Anyway, I should really be on this this page over here. Since we's waiting. We's a-waitin'. Well, you know, the thing is you can actually go through and dump old files now. So after you've completed certain quests, you can actually delete those files from your device. Cat in the Blue Hat made a nice little video about it on how to do that. You can get rid of several gigs of storage space by kind of purging your old quest data. That doesn't need to stick around. Oh my god. Rentara, thanks again for the super chat. Longer than Aranyaka. Yeah. No, again, like you can delete the old quest files. It'll remove all of the voice files and all of those animated cutscenes and everything from your device after you complete the quest. So it's not that bad. I did it on my PC and it worked just fine. I don't know if it works on PlayStation, but it works on my PC. It works on my phone, so there's that. They do have it for PC. I'm pretty sure. I did it. Well, now I'm second guessing myself. Did I do it just on my phone or did I also do it on I feel like I did it on the PC. I think I did it there first. I'm pretty sure. I did not get okay. I got spoiled for a single frame that I don't think is all that consequential. It was one frame of Nahida. But it was just of Nahida. You can't see anything else. So that was the only thing I've been spoiled on so far. And obviously the thumbnail of the of the stream. Really? You guys can't do it I swear I did it on the PC. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. Because it's under settings on the left hand all the way on the bottom. I don't think it's only for phones. I'll check later. I mean, like I can't check right now. This thing starts in like a few minutes. I'm not gonna do it right now. How do you get clearance for certain machines around the desert? Have you done the Golden Slumber quest? Because if you've done the Golden Slumber quest and you're struggling for clearance, I highly recommend you go back to Aru Village and go to the Statue of Seven. And there will be a new quest that shows up, a new world quest. Do that world quest, and it will give you all of the clearance that you need for everything. The Twitch stream is always 4 hours earlier because Genshin is partnered with Twitch. So they have like, you know, an exclusive kind of early release thing. But it's always early in the morning. It's like 7 a.m. for me and it's a pain in the butt. And I don't want to get up at 7 a.m. on a Sunday to go sit on Twitch and be disappointed when the stream keeps rewinding and cutting out and glitching and buffering and playing ads before the thing starts, so I miss the whole first 2 minutes of the initial trailer. Like, I ain't doing that. Also, I can't pause on Twitch. I can't rewind. Like YouTube, yes, it's a live stream, but like if I want to pause and talk about something, I can. I can't do that on Twitch. So like I've officially boycotted the Genshin Twitch live streams because they're so annoying. I'm not a big Twitch fan in general. I do have a Twitch account. I don't think I've ever actually used it. I tried to watch some streams on Twitch a few times. It's just that like I find the experience so not great. Especially since like I think what gets me about Twitch that this is definitely a me thing, but like Twitch is very, you have to be there in the moment, which is great because it makes it feel like it's an event, but also I have a life and I have to work and like go do things, and like I'm not always available to watch stuff. And I don't like that I can't go back and watch stuff. Like if I've missed something, I've missed something, and I don't like that. And it's just like a personal preference thing. It's not a dig against people who stream on Twitch or people who enjoy Twitch. It's just it doesn't work for me. Yeah. I think Twitch deletes the VODs because it's a lot of storage space. It's expensive. And got 5 minutes. These 5 minutes are so long. Imagine touching grass, man. I have to go do yard work today. That's on my agenda. Well, I say that. Technically, what I should be doing is finishing up my beginner's guide to Inazuma script. That's what I should be doing. Is that what I am doing? No, it's not what I am doing, but it's what I should be doing. Yep. How tall am I? Why is that important? At this point, I'll have to include Scaramouche voice lines in the intro. Yeah. No, I already did the laying out of the timeline. It's just everything's in bulleted points right now. It's not like written in a spoken way. And also I just have one bullet point that says insert the events of Surumi Island and nothing else. Which is not helpful. Anyway. Yeah, writing process. And I also have to go through this afterwards and put together a small analysis for it. Although I don't even know if it's worth it at this point. I might try to do like a really short one. It's just like we've got like 8 days or something until the next patch, which is crazy. I hate these 5-week cycles. I know they speed up content like a lot, but like holy shit, I don't like these 5-week cycles. They are hell on my schedule. I'm trying to go through these massive regions and compile all this new information, and by the time I finally finish, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can go write a bunch of scripts now. It's like, oh no, here's a new patch and here's all this other stuff, and I'm like, great. I'm never gonna do these theories now. Yeah, also less time to save primos, yeah. Yeah, I'll be glad when we're done with the 5-week cycle patch. I need my 6 weeks back. I know some people really enjoy them because it's like it's faster content, but like, oh my god, 5 weeks is way too short. Scaramouche isn't technically a god. I don't know if this is our first time fighting a god. I mean, technically we fought a she's more of a god than Scaramouche is. Not even technically, like actually. Diet god. Uh-huh. My Harbinger's favorite to least favorite. Scaramouche is my favorite and Child is my least favorite. That's it. I'm really biased against Child. Artix, thanks for the super chat, man. It's funny fact, Scaramouche, he has Mother A, Auntie Makoto, and little sister Raiden Shogun, and all of them look the same. Yeah. Yep. Anthony, thanks for the 3 months. I think the 5 weeks is a correct that patch delay. Yeah, it definitely is, and it's also to ensure that a drip marketing aligns on October 31st, which we've got 1 minute. Here's a really super quick theory. October 31st is actually the release date of Bohemian Rhapsody. So if we get drip marketing on October 31st, it better be the little Fandango man, because that would be hysterical. All right, we're going. Ah! Oh my god, it's so loud. Oh, I hate that thing. I hate that thing so much. Oh, underground maps! Frick, I should have put that on the bingo. Damn it. Black Sky Dragon, thanks for the super chat. Also, yes, underground maps, for the love of God, please. Or at least, you know what? If we can't have underground maps, at the very least, they should put like a little image next to the teleport point so that you know where you're warping to. At the very least. But oh my god, I absolutely hate this stupid music for the opening thing. I hope you guys don't mind if I'm just turning it off. Am I planning on making a video on the Traveler? What he is, where he came from, and what he's hiding? I don't really have a whole lot to work with. I have like 3 separate theories. One of them I've already made a theory on. 2 of them that involve way too much Gnosticism, and I'm lazy, and I think Island XD is actually gonna do a theory that more or less covers what I want to say anyway, so I'm just gonna not do that. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. October 31st, Bohemian Rhapsody release date. So it better be a Fandango man that shows up that day. It's my favorite element and weapon type. I like spears, and I like Anemo. And I guess Osile counts. Here
Greetings, travelers, and welcome to the Genshin Impact version 3.2 special program. I'm your host, Zach Aguilar, the voice of the male traveler,
we're good.
And today I'm joined by...
This is loud for me.
I've been waiting for you for ages.
Hey everyone, I'm Kimberly
sound
Ann
good?
Campbell, and I voice Lesser Lord Kusanali, aka Nahida.
Whoa.
This is my first ever special program, and I can't wait to explore the upcoming content with all of you.
What's up, everybody? My name is Alejandro Saab, and I'm the voice of Sino.
She sounds
Hopefully
so
everyone's
different.
gotten to know Sino a little better during this version, and we've still got plenty of Sino coming our way in the upcoming version, too.
And I'm sure lots of travelers are super
Oh my
excited
God.
to see what version 3.2 has in store for us. So let's jump right in and
She
start
has
with our new
crazy
version trailer.
range. Holy
Let's
cow.
do it.
All right, here we go. I'm going to be quiet for the trailer.
Imagine this. We have orchestrated our plan and successfully rescued Lesser Lord Kusanali. We have changed Sumeru's entire political
Is
landscape.
that Al Hatham?
Huh? Did I just see something dart by?
Having the doctor gone benefits him as well as us.
Amazing. So this is how it feels to walk out of that cage with my own body.
Oh, no, I don't have baby jailbreak on mine. Damn it.
Make yourself at home.
Okay, her theme is really
But
cute.
now doesn't seem to be the time to indulge in this
wait,
feeling.
is she jumping on keycaps? She's jumping on keycaps. We'll go look at that later.
Not now. Stars, shine for me.
There's one. Weekly
Luckily,
boss.
there is still some time
no.
left for me to take care of everything before I leave.
World boss, which is not on my card.
So, you think this is over?
Wait. No. I can't.
That's the secret hidden by Ermin's soul concerning the truth of this world.
The
Whoa.
Balladeer has already become a god?
No wonder your own people have abandoned you, God of Wisdom.
Okay.
At my command, you shall fall. My endless cycle begins. Your ploy was to sacrifice the traveler here, was it not?
Nilou, are you sure about this? You're taking such a great risk for them.
I must admit that I'm a little scared. But I'll try my best for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Hathem's plan is even more radical than I imagined.
Brothers, let's show them we Eremites are not to be messed with.
Wizar, you've betrayed all of Sumeru, betrayed its Archon.
Creating a god. We are using human wisdom to create a god.
I have things to say,
Let
but
us
later.
reenact a scene
Like
of
later,
the Archon
okay?
War. Come and inaugurate my birth as a god.
I have a lot to say, but I didn't want to say anything then because there's a lot of information there, and so now I'm gonna have to put my beginner's guide on hold because we have a lot to talk about, like a lot to talk about. Anyway, I'm gonna count Animo Scaramouche because I saw in like a swirlable thing, and it looks like he's doing multiple elements, so I'm gonna call that. I'm gonna call that one. Yeah. Oh man. I can't believe I don't have the baby jail breakout on my card. I'm so mad. Oh yeah. He's a weekly boss for sure. He's definitely okay. There's no way he's not a weekly boss. Child.
So, we've got a lot to unpack from that trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
After
kidding.
experiencing the Sub-Zerus Festival, Samsara, and surviving our journey through the desert, we'll finally get to the riveting end of the Sumeru Archon Quest in version 3.2.
Oh boy.
Picking up right where we left off, the Traveler is teaming up with some amazing characters to face the Academia and rescue Sumeru's Archon. But I'm sure the first thing everyone's wondering is how we're going to save the Dendro Archon.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Nahida's been locked up by the doctor inside the sanctuary of Suristana. It's not like we can just go walking in there. And on top of that, we're dealing with two of the Fatui Harbingers now. We've got the Balladeer in his super powerful looking boss form, as well as the doctor, who seems to be a real tricky one to predict. I'm not gonna lie, the Traveler really has his hands full with this one.
Yeah.
Why did they
definitely
start
a
with
tricky
Dottore
situation.
leaving?
Totally.
That's an interesting
and
thing
besides
to
these
say.
two Harbingers, we can be sure the Grand Sage will also be on his guard. But hey, with the help of two insiders like Sino and Alhaitham, we might just have a way into the Academia.
Well, as the General Mahamatra, Sino also has his own agenda.
Update
After
should
being
be in like
tracked
8 or
and
9
predicted
days.
by the Academia
Like
for all
November
these years,
1st or something.
this might just be his chance to settle the score.
And if we're hoping to truly save Sumeru, we'll definitely need the power of the Dendro Archon to help us.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how everyone's hard work and coordination plays out.
And I don't know about you guys, but besides saving Nahida, I'm also curious how we're going to save Irminsul. Plus,
You know what?
we
Yes.
still don't know the meaning behind the words that Greater
laying
Lord
unconscious
Brukadevada
before
left
Skara
us.
counts as Hypatia. That's
World.
silly.
Forget me.
That counts.
Well, travelers will be
I'll
able
call
to
it.
personally unravel the answers to all these questions in their own journeys through version 3.2.
You know, I'm
course,
actually
Mila
kind of
doesn't
curious what the
dance.
future for Sumeru will be once they get through all of this and, well, you know, what will happen to the crew we've been working with along the way.
Yeah, same. I just hope things will work out for everyone affected by Elazar, like Dunyarzad and Kale. Oh, And we can't forget the desert dwellers who have been mistreated all these years. There's a lot that needs to change for them, too.
Right. So be sure not to miss Chapter 5 of the Archon quest, Akasha Pulses.
We'll go back
Pulp
through the
of Flame
trailer, I
Rises.
promise.
It'll
Later.
be quite the ride, and I hope everyone will enjoy it.
Yeah, and of course, the end of this quest won't be the end of
shoot.
everyone's journey in Sumeru. There are still many
right.
puzzles and mysteries waiting to be solved. Whether it's Lesser Lord Kusanali, the Doctor, or the Balladeer, I think there still might be lots of unexpected things waiting to be uncovered.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome.
Okay, so now that we've talked about some of the storyline, maybe...
Hang on. The patch name is not the same as the quest name, okay? So the Truth Amongst the Pages of Piranha is likely the name of one of the acts within this patch. So don't worry about that.
Maybe we can talk about that massive mechanical-looking puppet we've seen. That's the god that the Academia has been creating.
That's right, and now that you mentioned it, let's talk about the Balladeer boss battle.
I'm so excited for
This
this.
boss looks tough. The Doctor must have put a lot of his energy into this.
Yeah, the Balladeer has lots of strong and
So
awesome-looking
for their
abilities, so
eyes.
why don't we start by checking out some gameplay from the new boss battle?
Sounds good.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. What is that? What is this one-eyed bunny? This song is awesome. I'm sorry, Raiden fans, but Scaramouche has a better theme song. I'm just saying.
Oh, wow, just look at the size of it. Pretty sure this boss is gonna push travelers to the limit.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that thing is huge. And come to think of it, this is
No,
like
no,
the
that
third
song's
Fatui
awesome.
Harbinger boss battle we've had. They really keep stepping up the art and design every time. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
this is an ultra-powerful puppet we're going up
Yeah,
against
it's very
here.
possible he's
So we're
singing during
talking
that song
huge
too, by the by.
attacks and
We'll
epic
talk about that later
moves.
too.
Let's break it down a bit. In the first phase of the battle, the Balladeer will use his massive arms to attack everyone. The arms are capable of utilizing different elemental powers, and there are several types of abilities, including attacks that create fields of burning or freezing effects on the ground.
Oh, you know what? This fight kind of reminds me of when we fight Ruin Guards.
Oh, look at the
I think we'll
ground.
have to come up with a way to paralyze it.
The ground's got
Right.
circles with elements
And
on
you
it.
might have noticed there are some arcane formations on the ground, so
Oh,
activating
okay.
those might trigger some interesting effects.
And I bet a lot of people are wondering what that thing is
Of
floating
course.
next to us. Not gonna lie, he's kind of cute. Oh, maybe it's a Paimon reskin.
Sorry, but no. Not only is it super cute,
Paimon
but it's also
reskin
super
here.
powerful. Travelers will need to charge energy for this little helper and use its special skill to counter the boss in battle.
A helper in a boss fight.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely not Paimon.
Because that might
Once the
imply
Balladeer has
that
transformed into this massive form,
whales can't
our
one-shot
usual
this
attacks won't deal any tangible
without,
damage
like,
to
they
him.
can't ignore the
So
boss
only
mechanics.
thing capable of breaking through his defenses will be our
Wondering.
little helper that we just mentioned. There will even be some moments in the fight where travelers will need to use an aiming mode to attack the boss's weak points.
Oh,
Oh,
I guess
no, I
that little
hate
thing
aim
would be
mode.
so important against a boss the size of the Balladeer.
God, that
I
thing
know,
is
right?
creepy.
They also use some amazing special effects for all of the Balladeer's moves. Speaking of which, the cosmic appearance, the spacey special effects of his skills really kind of remind me of the Raiden Shogun skills.
Ah, you're right. And seriously, I can't wait to check out this new boss fight. I'm so hyped.
Yeah.
So now that we've covered the new boss battle, I think it's time to introduce the first of our new playable characters coming in version 3.2. Let's
I'm
welcome
curious how many of you are
Lesser
going to be
Lord
pulling for her.
Kusanali, aka Nahida.
Hey, finally!
After everything we've experienced in the story so far, I think Nahida's already like a good friend to us. It's seriously so crazy what we've been through.
Aw, I'm so happy to hear you say that, Zach. Okay, so throughout our journey, maybe everyone's already noticed some of the yeah, let's call it that, unique metaphors that Nahida likes to use. And yeah, they can be pretty out there. Or sometimes she'll use really childlike language to describe some deep or profound idea. But the truth is, she has yet to set foot in the outside world since she was born. To her, all the knowledge that she has in her mind is like pieces of scenery that she's never seen with her own eyes.
Totally. It's really hard to imagine that the
Oh.
god of wisdom had been locked up for 500 years. Just makes me upset just thinking about it.
But I'm sure everything will work out sooner or later.
If travelers would like to spend more time with Nahida, then be sure to check out Nahida's
Oh, her
story quest,
constellation is
Sapientia
cute. Look
or
at it.
Mastes chapter. The quest will be available upon completing the Sumeru Archon
Look
quest.
at her constellation.
So be sure to check out the quest to learn more.
It's so little.
It's nice that we'll get to spend more time with her. But I want to see Nahida in battle. What you got for us, Kimberly?
Oh, I've got
Bingo.
lots to share. But before we get to that, let's have a quick peek at Nahida in action.
What they say is true. You have
Alright,
to see
let's
the
see her.
world for yourself to appreciate how beautiful it
Playing
is.
Cat's Cradle. Oh my god, she is jumping on keycaps.
Roll.
Wait, no, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again, do
Temple
it
of
again.
Wisdom.
Come on. No, look! She's jumping on keycaps! That's hilarious.
Wow.
She's so cute!
Look at her.
I love her!
Aw, little Nahida is so cute. I love how she hops around when she's fighting. Oh, and her swing too. So, what's that skill that looks like she's using a viewfinder or something? That seems pretty different.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with her viewfinder-ish kind of skill, which is actually her elemental skill. As a catalyst user, Nahida's combat style is pretty unique.
I'm just
You
watching
may
her
cast her
feet because
elemental
the
skill by
keys.
tapping the skill
are
button,
just
or
really
you may
cute.
hold the button to enter in aiming mode. Opponents who are selected while aiming will be linked by Nahida's special mark. After you trigger elemental reactions on opponents who are linked, and when they take damage from dendro cores, Nahida will unleash Tri-Karma Purification, dealing dendro damage.
Whoa, this is so cool. Yeah, I love how it's like connecting the enemies together.
Outside of combat,
That
Nahida
looks
can
so
use
funny.
her elemental skill and
Like in a
enter
good
the
way,
aiming mode
but
we
just
just
looks
mentioned
pretty funny.
to interact with certain harvestable items, allowing her to collect items directly to the inventory from a distance.
Whoa, wait. Being able to harvest materials like that is gonna be so cool. That'll really save us some time.
Yeah. This skill may also have some additional uses, so travelers will have to give it a try themselves and see.
Ooh, okay.
Nahida's elemental burst is where things get really interesting. Upon unleashing her burst, Nahida manifests the Court of Dreams, expanding a special field.
That's pretty amazing. The effect really does look like some royal court or palace.
It also
Yeah.
looks really
Different effects
familiar.
will be produced based
and
on
I
whether there are
can't think
pyro,
of why.
electro, and hydro characters in the party. While Nahida is within the special field, a pyro member in the party will increase the damage of Tri-Karma Purification.
It
An
looks like
electro
something
party
I've
member
seen
will
in game,
decrease
but
the
I can't.
intervals at which Tri-Karma Purification is triggered, and a hydro party member will cause the duration of the field to be increased. If there are at least 2 party members of the elemental types I just mentioned, then the effects will be increased further.
Whoa, this is blowing my mind right now. We'll really have to focus on which effects we want to achieve and put some thought into our team's composition.
Right? A key thing to remember is that these effects can be triggered while Nahida is not on the battlefield, as long as the active character remains in the special field radius.
Oh.
Nice. Also, in addition to Nahida, we have one other character joining us in version 3.2.
Yes,
That's
yes.
right.
Tell us about this one.
She's a very peculiar academia student. Her name is Layla. Most days, she looks super tired and anxious, which seems to be a direct result of her relentless struggle with her studies.
Yeah, and not only is she frail and anxious looking, but she also studies
I
astrology.
have thoughts
So
about her.
It's no wonder people around her might consider her a little strange and mysterious. And even though she's always groaning about her studies, most of Layla's research work is actually fine overall. It's just her lack of confidence that's really holding her back. And that's when her unusual ability comes into play.
And her ability is sleepwalking.
Yeah. While she is sleeping, Layla unleashes her true self, allowing her to regain the confidence she needs and activate
Present your
the
thesis
talents
while
and strengths
sleepwalking.
she's had all along. As soon as she starts sleepwalking, her unfinished papers no longer seem like the monumental tasks
Corey,
they
no,
were,
that's
and she
mean. But
completes
thank you for
them
the super
in no
chat.
time.
This is definitely something only Layla can do. Our viewers shouldn't try to do this with their own homework. But does Layla have any idea what happens when she's sleepwalking? I mean, does she know that she has this ability?
She seems to be aware of it. The papers are obviously full of her handwriting, after all.
Yeah, she does seem like
But
she
there
should be a
have been
catalyst,
some
huh?
weird instances. For example, once during crunch time while researching, she sleepwalked and climbed the wall of Sawmill, and then randomly bumped into Candace. Such weird occurrences have made her start to wonder what's really going on.
And aside from her sleepwalking, just like any other student, Layla has many typical things that she hopes to achieve, as well as some regrets. She wants to be able to make friends and go out and have fun. But it seems like she'll never be able to do any of that until she graduates.
That sounds familiar.
And
it gets worse
actually,
after you graduate,
I'm guessing
though.
that she uses her sleepwalking abilities in combat too, right?
You bet. Let's have a look at Layla in combat.
Sweet.
Even when we're not looking up at the stars, they're always there. Watching us.
I mean, her sword arts are really pretty.
Stars, shine for me.
Cryo Shielder. She's gonna need to have something real special to compete with Diona, though.
It almost looks like she's sleeping while being protected by the shield.
This shield not only protects Layla, but also creates night stars while it is active. When a character protected by the shield uses an elemental skill, more night stars will be created. Once 4 night stars have been accumulated, they will transform into homing shooting stars, dealing damage to any opponent's hit.
Ooh.
Ah, night stars. I love how her skills have a starry theme. It ties into her studies.
Where would
throughout
you
the
use
skill's
that?
duration, each time a night star is accumulated, the shield strength will increase. This effect can stack up to a maximum of
Oh, that's
4
cool.
times.
Whoa.
Layla's elemental burst unleashes a dream sphere that constantly fires starlight slugs at opponents within its AoE, while also generating night stars
Okay,
for Layla's
so
shield.
Diona
As
on
a
her
talented
skill,
Ratawa, his
Lisa on
student,
her
Layla
burst.
also comes in handy when crafting. When Layla crafts character talent materials, she has a set
That
chance
idol,
to
though.
receive double the product.
Ah, nice.
Sweet. Anyway, when can travelers expect to see these new characters available in-game?
Great question. That brings us to our new event wishes. In the
Why
early
is
part of version
Yoimiya
3.2,
here? She was
Nahida and
just
Yoimiya
here
will be
in
available.
2.8.
In the later part of the version, we'll be seeing rerun event wishes for
Oh, Child came
Yainiko
back.
and
Is that
Tartaglia,
on my card?
and Layla will become available
It's on
for the
someone's
first
card.
time. Also, a new 5-star weapon, 1,000 Floating
Nope.
Dreams, will be appearing in the new weapon event wish.
Oh, nice. By the way, I've heard that Layla's been getting ready recently to participate in Sumeru's Beast Tamer tournament. But before we get into that, I think it's
I'm
time for us
very
to take
confused
another
about
break.
Yoimiya here.
We'll be back with
Why
the
is it
latest
not
info on
Hu Tao?
events coming in
Doesn't
the
it feel
version
like it should be Hu
update.
Tao?
I
It's been
know what
so
you're
long.
thinking. It's time
my
for
God.
redemption code. You guys get it?
Someone
Ooh.
has Sino made a
Sino.
bad joke. So
all right, that's enough.
Ooh.
yeah, someone has Sino made a bad joke. So you should check that off your card. I do not have it on mine. How do I always get the worst configurations of my bingo cards? I don't understand. Like, these are randomized. Like, what the hell? Come on. Nahida's weapon is an upside down Aranara. Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. Be better. Mike, shut up. Are we calling Child shows up because he has a rerun? Yes, that's fine. That counts. It counts, it counts, it counts.
Welcome back to the version 3.2 special program, everyone. Next,
Is that
we'll
a
take
free
a look at some
Dory?
of the new events for the coming update.
That is a free Dory.
Amazing Fungus
All right,
competition
then.
is about to begin in the lands of Sumeru. Not only has it attracted local competitors from Sumeru, but also spectators from other
Someone
nations.
has baffling event on their card too.
Fungus competition? How does that even work? Aren't fungi dangerous? They're always attacking us in the wild.
Wait, is this fungi
I know
lore
it
time?
sounds a little weird, but
Can I
you'll
do my
love it.
mushroom video?
In this contest, participants will
wanna
use
do
a
my
special
mushroom
gadget
video.
called a
Give
wisdom
me
orb
something.
to catch and train their fungi and participate in battle events.
What?
Although the fungi often pose as little troublemakers
What?
for us in the wild, using this gadget will allow travelers to establish a certain level
Let's
of
just poke-
communication with them.
Is this
So,
Fungimon?
if I catch and train a Jade Plume Terror Shroom, then I should be pretty much unstoppable, right?
Oh no, come on, that wouldn't be fair.
In this event, travelers will be able to sneak up on fungi in some certain
Can I
areas
put them
to
in my
catch them.
teapot?
Unfortunately, the Jade
Can I
Plume
have
Terror
a fungal
Shroom is not
teapot? Oh
one
my
of
god,
those
I will
areas,
totally do that.
Kimberly.
I would totally do
If
that.
you end up startling them, they'll flee until they are outside a set distance.
After catching different kinds of fungi, you can follow
Tingle
Paimon's
shroom.
suggestion and give them
Oh my
cute
god, why did
names.
I not know that
But
its
most
name?
importantly, you will have to train your
Bongo
fungi.
head?
That sounds fun.
Travelers will have to use special floral jelly ingredients to mix and form blends that your fungi
God.
enjoy and unlock their true potential. While mixing
Okay,
ingredients,
I like this
use
event.
copy,
This event is
switch,
fun.
and rotate functions, and place a
This is
preset
cute.
formula you have in the corresponding spot.
Aw, looks kind of like jelly.
This is cute.
I bet Paimon's gonna be all over that.
Hey, Paimon wouldn't ever do that!
Well, I can tell why you didn't look that way.
And with all these different kinds of fungi, they should have different
One-dimensional
abilities,
Rubik's Cube.
right?
Yeah, so to work on their abilities, we'll use something called the Special Training Mode. In this mode, there will be 2 challenge types, Coordinated Assaults and Zone Defense. Travelers will be able to command their fungi's abilities, have them coordinate their attacks against a single target,
These are really
and control
cute.
them
Okay,
to
this is
defend the ley
cute.
line monolith.
This is
Aw,
cute.
They're so cute. This is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, me neither. As for the rewards, in addition to Primo
Oh, I
Gems
like this.
and
This is gonna
various
be cool.
materials, once travelers have reached a certain phase of the
Look
event,
at 'em.
they will also be able to summon the great and almighty merchant, Dory.
And Layla will be appearing in the event storyline, as well as a familiar
Oh,
visitor
cool.
from another nation.
Awesome. Okay, that's
Any
great.
idea
That's
who it
good.
could be?
That's good.
Supposedly a fun guy.
Okay, I see what you did there. I respect it. Let's leave that for travelers to discover themselves.
Anthony,
in the
thanks for
event.
the super
Come on,
chat.
guys, fun guy.
Expert on
Okay,
rocks,
next up we
mud,
have
and
a
soon
change of
mushrooms.
pace with an all-new Trials
Yup.
event. For this event, travelers will have to use characters' special abilities to complete specific objectives.
Hey, back to
For
Mom's
example, you may have to knock slimes into the goal by triggering an overloaded reaction with Yen Phase and Klee's attacks, or use Yelan's elemental skill to move quickly and dodge giant pinballs.
Oh, this is neat.
Here are some others. Use Xiao's plunging attack to send platforms back to the ground, or use Beto's elemental skill to hit the ball.
This sounds like some pretty unusual
Oh, this
training.
is funny.
Yeah, and to make things even more interesting, this event will support co-op gameplay.
This is Wii
Oh.
Sports.
This sounds like it'll be a lot of fun to watch. But what about objectives for characters
We're
that
just playing
maybe
Wii
we haven't
Sports
unlocked
now.
yet?
No worries, we got you covered. All the corresponding characters will be provided as trial characters in the challenges.
Oh my god, they better make these
In
Teapot
addition
games.
to these events, version 3.2 will also
Hypostatic
feature an
symphony.
event for
Oh
our
my God,
players to
it's
put
been
their skills to the
forever.
test. This time, we'll have a new edition of the
Oh my god, I
Hypostatic
haven't seen this
Symphony
event since like
Nice. So, what changes can travelers
version
expect
1
this
point
time
something.
around?
The most notable change, of course, will be the addition of the new Dendro Hypostasis. That's right, the last member of the Hypostasis family will be officially
1.2,
landing
oh,
in version
Jesus.
3.2. Besides serving as a new open-world boss, the Dendro Hypostasis will also be busy performing alongside its fellow Hypostases in the
that
Hypostatic
event was
Symphony
incredibly difficult
This time around,
for when it started
travelers
because
will be
no one really
facing
had really
challenges
good
featuring
built
the
characters
Dendro,
because it was so early in the game's life.
Pyro, and Hydro
this will be
Hypostases. Before each challenge, travelers may select a buff effect to use. However, as you increase the difficulty, the number of uses will decrease and the enemies will become more challenging. So it'll be super important for travelers to plan the right moment to use these effects.
That's a weird team.
What options do we have once we run out of buffs?
Travelers will still be able to use food and potions from their inventory. If you're aiming
Okay,
to
they'll let
just
us
collect
use
all
food.
the Primo Gem rewards, then don't worry. You won't need to up the difficulty too much.
Oh, that looks cool.
Okay, good to know. Whew.
If you okay, hang on. I gotta pause for a second. If you guys were not here in version 1.2, which I think is actually probably a considerable chunk of you, because that was still really early in Genshin's lifespan, the Hypostatic Symphony events were really interesting, not just because they were really difficult combat back then, because no one had really well-built characters, but also because all of the hypostasis here are not the same ones as the one you fight in the overworld. They have entirely different movesets. So like you saw the cryohypostasis like put that wall around it. The regular cryohypostasis does not do that. So all of the hypostasis here are actually named different things. So they're not like they don't usually have the same name as the one in the overworld. And they have entirely different movesets, which is really cool. So that's what makes this event so interesting. It's because you're gonna go in and be like, okay, I know how to fight the cryohypostasis, and then it's not how you know how to fight the cryohypostasis. Anyway,
We'll definitely not be upping the difficulty. And just like before, you may tackle the challenges together with your friends once they have joined your world.
Oh, co-op's available. Cool.
We can help each other out.
Oh, yeah.
Now that we've covered the challenge event, let's take a quick look at a couple more casual events coming our way in the new update.
Look at the rainbow
First,
core.
We'll be finding inspiration for an illustrator in the Outside the
It's the
Canvas
camera event
Inside
again.
the Lens
Okay,
event.
okay,
And once
okay.
again, we'll be
Well, that's
working
a lot of
together with
pictures.
Lieben in marvelous merchandise. It's also worth
Lieben's
mentioning here
back.
that some optimizations have been made for the photo event this time around. Everyone will be able to select from some preset angles and can make use of the rotate and focus functions to take better pictures.
That's great.
While you're out taking pictures, you may
convenient.
run into some interesting storylines along the way. So be sure not to miss Outside the Canvas, Inside the Lens.
Man, I love these kinds of events. Sign me up.
Yeah, me too. In addition to all these new events, we
Teapot
also have
time.
some news on system-related updates and optimizations. I'm really
know I
excited
put some
about the
Teapot
first
stuff
of
on the
these,
card,
which is regarding the Serena
so
Teapot.
check your card.
Starting with version 3.2, the Serena
it's not
Teapot
online.
will be adding
Of
the
course it's not. Why would it
long-awaited
be online?
replication system.
Ridiculous.
Wow, that's super amazing.
The things I put
Yeah.
on here are not mine.
This feature will allow travelers to use sharing codes to bring designs from other travelers' teapots and implement them in their own, or share their own teapot designs.
Teacup in space.
I know
thanks for
there
the
may
super
be
chat.
some travelers out there who have seen some amazing
Hello to you
teapot
too.
designs that they've wanted to also create themselves, but
This
didn't
is
have the
cool.
ability or time to make it.
This
With
is
this
cool.
new function, travelers will be able to bring that creativity back to their own teapot.
I think a lot of
or
people
share
will
their creativity with others.
Get ready
use
to
their
hit up your
teapot more
friends
because
with
of
amazing
this.
teapot skills.
I can't wait to see everyone sharing their designs, especially with me.
I think they just need to make the teapot
Which brings
zones
us to
smaller.
our final update to share with
I really
everyone.
do.
This one is regarding the game's available languages. Starting with version 3.3, which will be the update following this one, Genshin Impact will be adding Turkish and Italian to the game language settings.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
So,
cool.
players who'd prefer to see the game's text and UI in those languages can look forward to that.
The team truly hopes that travelers from all over the world can enjoy the game and start their own
Nice.
journeys through the world of Teyvat.
For further details, please check Genshin Impact's official channels and keep an eye out
Yeah,
for
you can
future
count the
announcements
Sumeru
and info.
teapot
Wow,
thing.
we've covered a
for
ton of
that.
stuff.
That's
Seriously,
fine.
it's a lot to take in.
For sure. So now is probably a great time for our last redemption code.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Spanish dub win. When they add new languages, they don't also typically add the voiceovers too, do they? They usually just add like the text. Or do they do both? Or does it depend? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I tend to play in English and English only just because like whenever I need to record something, I need to have it in like a consistent language. So I haven't really checked out many of the other options. CNJP Korean and yeah, okay, yeah. Gotcha. That makes sense.
Well, everyone, I think we've covered just about everything coming our way in version 3.2.
Well, that's a distressing
we've
image.
arrived at the end of our special program.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we covered
quick.
a ton of stuff.
So much stuff.
Yeah. So many events too. But the thing that I'm most excited about is, of course, Nahida playable character, Nahida playable character, Nahida playable character.
Obviously.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, it was definitely the Balladeer. Dude, it looks so insane.
Yes!
I have no idea how I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, no, for me, oh my gosh, so many things.
Alejandro has a
Battling the
C6
Dendro
R5
hypostasis,
Cyno.
and of
He'll
course,
be
the
fine. Oh wait, no, he
fabulous
won't.
Fungus frenzy.
Never
Getting
mind.
my little
I take that
fungi
back.
and battling with them. And, the Teapot, the Serena Teapot, I'm so behind on my Teapot, so I can't wait to
You gotta get on it.
hopefully get some designs from others, or at least, get some inspiration from getting another
I'm surprised.
Teapot
That was a
design.
pretty light update. But then again, we just had two
And
really
just
big
as
updates.
we mentioned
so
earlier,
that's not
even
a bad
though the
thing.
Sumeru Archon quest will be reaching its final chapter here, it most definitely won't be the end of our journey in Sumeru. In our story this time, we'll be encountering some interesting and mysterious content, and I hope it will be an amazing experience for all of our travelers. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon
I don't think
be
that's
with
fan
all
art.
of you.
See you in game, everyone. Bye.
See ya.
That was a very light live stream. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I was expecting a little more than that, but that's okay. I'm personally happy for the break. I know that not a lot of people are in the same boat as me. But I've been you can tell from my update schedule, right? Like my upload schedule that I've been struggling just to kind of parse through everything and keep going. I don't think half-hour live streams are bad. I actually think this is a pretty good length. It just didn't feel like there's a lot because like they gave you the third code and it's like, okay, yeah, we're done. They usually have like another little, teaser secret bit at the end or whatnot. So I was surprised about that. But honestly, for what we're getting, it looks like we're getting, obviously, the boss. We're getting the last 2 acts of the Sumeru Archon quest. So we should wrap it up there. That'll be good. And then we've got 2 what seems to be large events. The fungi event and then the, what do you call the other one? Is it just 1 act? It's just 1 quest? That's all right too. Oh, right. Nahida story quest. Okay, yeah, that counts. That counts. Nahida story quest kind of counts because like the Archon quests and the Archon story quests are kind of linked. I mean, I guess I guess Zhongli's wasn't really. Can you really count Venti's? I don't think most people remember Venti's story quest, to be quite honest with you. So it's really just, it feels like Raiden's was the one that actually finished the Archon quest. Because, yeah. It kind of dealt with her unresolved stuff. Zhongli did have some things that they weren't really directly related to the Archon quest, though. But, like, his Archon quest was also a bit odd. I did not win bingo. Again, I'm 3 streams in a row not getting bingo, which is crazy. I don't know how I get the worst freaking randomization of all of my options. I make like almost 50 options. 50 different ideas and little mini predictions, and I always end up with the card that gets screwed. Oh well. I got stealth level. Oh yeah, no, you're right. I kind of did. This no, that's not really there. This one, I guess you kind of could maybe say that. This one I could probably do. We didn't get closure on that one. There's no ley line overflow. I'm surprised on that. Dotori doing the Bibble. He did not do a Bibble, and I'm distressed. Didn't see anything about this. No Natlan crumbs. I saw someone say there might have been a voice of a new Dottore clone. I'm not going to count it. I didn't see an ominous shadow of someone I didn't recognize. And of course, the one time I'm just like, oh yeah, Nilou's gonna dance. Nilou doesn't dance. Oh, Freeman has honor. Thanks for the 5 gifted. Welcome to everyone who just got gifted a membership. That was very generous. Thanks you. Thank you. And Black Sky Dragon, thank you also for the super chat. I want A to pick up her lost sassy child. If he's playable, maybe in his story quest. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen in an Archon quest. And no TCG. I'm upset about the TCG. I guess anime info, we'll just have to wait and see. Well, anyway, let's go through the trailer again.
Imagine this. We have orchestrated our plan and successfully rescued Lesser Lord
First off, Alhaitham's voice is a lot higher than I remember it to be. It's kind of odd.
Kusanali. We have changed Sumeru's entire political landscape.
Huh?
So they're starting at the end.
I just see something dart by?
Having the doctor gone benefits him as well as us.
They're starting at the end of the quest, it seems. Maybe this is... Okay, you know what? I bet this part here that they're starting with is actually Kusanali's story quest. To a degree. It's just a weird place to start, right? So either they're not showing us an entire encounter with Dottore. Because, like, if he's leaving, there has to be a reason he's leaving, right? And I don't think they'd show us all of this if it was just, like, a hypothetical. It's a very weird cut. Okay, but I will say, they've gotten a lot better at making misleading trailers. Like, a lot better at making misleading trailers. So, there's that.
It feels to walk out of that cage with my own body.
Her song is cute. I like it.
Yeah.
Look at the keycaps.
Hey.
She reminds me of this era of 90s anime where things were like digital and pop colors and like all that kind of stuff. She reminds me of that. 90s anime. I like it. It's funny. I need to know more about Layla because I have an idea around her, but I need something. Something.
Stars, shine for me.
Sorry, I keep pausing. Have you guys noticed that every single sword character, like one-handed sword character that they've released in Sumeru has had the Zephos Moonlight and no other sword? Very Sailor Moon. Yeah. It is very Sailor Moon. It's that era, yeah? You're right.
Luckily, there is still some time left for me to take care of everything before I leave.
So...
This is so cool. I'm sorry. Like, look, you can literally see it getting plugged into his body. That's neat. I'm so glad they gave us that. Yeah, that last line was Dottore, but it says before he leaves, which means that's probably the Omega build, right? So oh, Freeman has honor. Thank you for the 10 gifted. Jeez, him. Wow. Yeesh. So it says before he leaves, so that feels like it has to be the same Dottore that was there. So that would be the Omega build because that was the one that we ran into in 3.1. Yeah. Jeez, yeah. Thanks for the gifted, man.
You think this is over?
Wait. No.
This was actually the scene that I saw. before the stream. This was the one I got spoiled on, and because there was like literally nothing else there, I was just like, okay, well, that's not that big of a spoiler. But I love to see when Genshin actually like goes ham on expressions. They don't do it often, but I love when they do. I wish they did it more.
That's the secret hidden by Ermin's soul concerning the truth of this.
And I have to pause here again. I'm sorry. You guys know who last talked about the truth of this world, right? You guys remember, right? That this is what Albedo is searching for on behalf of Gold, right? Which means that the Fatui, or at the very least, the Doctor, knows the truth of this world. I have a small theory, which I'll share with you in a second.
This world.
We need to go through here for a minute.
The Balladeer has already become a god?
Kind of weird to be
No
held
wonder
close.
your own people have abandoned you, God of Wisdom.
I love that they're embracing whole robot with him, even outside of like the mecha.
At my command, you shall fall. My endless cycle begin.
That one. Okay, so when I said we had a lot to talk about, it was actually because of this in particular. So there's Cyno's weapon, right? Cyno's weapon is the Staff of Scarlet Sands. Hey, Kuro. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know how many of you guys have read the Staff of Scarlet Sands. I think if you guys read any weapon lore at all, I think you should read the Staff of Scarlet Sands. The reason is there's like 10 things in there that are just key because several of them confirm theories, several of them bring up new questions, and some of them are actually going to get addressed in this trailer. One thing to note is that weapons lore is told from the perspective of the Scarlet King. So he's actually telling you all the lore. And one of the things he says is that the cycle of the 7 must be broken. So if Scaramouche is becoming a god, and he's talking about an endless cycle, and A's whole thing about eternity being the closest to the heavenly principles, you've got an endless cycle, right? An eternal cycle. And then Nahida is talking about a samsara, an eternal samsara. So, like, it seems like the whole world on a loop thing is actually quite likely at this point. There's some aspect of the world that is on a loop. For sure. So now I'm sitting here just wondering, like, maybe Conry is outside of the loop, or maybe, like, the Abyss actually has time moving correctly. But it's like, Tevat keeps, rewinding, so to speak. And that's why time seems to flow differently when you're outside versus inside. Like, it's like two rings that are spinning at different speeds, so they have different orbits, right? So it's interesting. I wonder if that's the truth of this world. But like I think the truth of this world might be the reason why the world is the way it is currently.
Your ploy was to sacrifice the traveler here, was it not?
Sacrificing the traveler is an interesting idea. Because sacrificing to what end? Like, what would sacrificing the traveler even do? And yeah, that was the Grand Sage talking, which implies that if he's talking about his ploy, he's talking to Dottore, yeah? Has to be. Has to be talking to Dottore.
Nilu, are you sure about this? You're taking such a great risk for them.
What is Nilu actually going to take a risk for, though?
I must admit that I'm a little scared. But I'll try my best for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Well, Hathem's plan is even more radical than I imagined.
Brothers, let's show them we Aramites are not to be messed with.
This is cool, though, okay? I like this because we've been kind of built up to believe that the core of 30, so the green Aramites, are the good guys, right? Because they work for the academia, they're legally employed, they're, you know, like they're doing all of those sorts of things. But then we went through the 3.1 Archon quest and we kind of busted the Mad Scholar smuggling ring, for lack of a better term. And now we basically have like an entire faction of Aramites, the red Aramites, who are actually the good guys because they're not working for the academia. So I think that's cool because it actually kind of flips the script on that, right? That's neat. I like it. I really like that.
Quasar, you've betrayed all of Sumeru, betrayed its Archon.
Creating a god. We are using human.
You gotta wonder though if the traveler there in that scene, hang on. Come on. Oh, it's so blurry. I'm so sorry. This one. Because it looks like the traveler is about to like stab Scaramouche in the face. It's so weird, the credentials for being able to trigger this true power of theirs.
Creating a god. We are using human wisdom to create a god.
Let us reenact a scene of the Archon War. Come and inaugurate my birth as a god.
I like it. I'm actually really excited for the story this time around. They're doing a lot of really cool things. And it's interesting too that he is mentioning the Archon War in light of like all of the talk of cycles and stuff, because it implies that, like Nahida said, the truth behind the Archon War might have just been one simple secret, right? It's possible that the 7 create 7 separate eternal cycles, and you can't have additional gods present for them for some reason. One theory that I posed forever ago, which I think might still be metaphorically correct in light of new information, but the application of it might be slightly the nuances might be different now. Is that each Archon was essentially like a pillar or an anchor point for their region, like anchoring their region into place into that, right? So Zhongli, for example, has an eternal cycle, but it only applies for the region of Liyue, and he is sort of anchored in place to that using the Gnosis. That's kind of what lets everything kind of anchor to Celestia, which might be like the core anchor or something like that. And it was based on this world structure theory I had, where, the firmament or the sky was held up based on these heavenly pillars. And that was based on the idea that the statues of 7 and teleport points and similar things are all just like straight pillars of light, right? That are connected to the ley lines, and they seem to be stable points. So I'm interested in this kind of thing. It seems like the thing I'm most curious is not so much how Tevat is structured and all that kind of stuff. It's more like, what was the purpose of having the world structured in this way? You know what I mean? Like, that to me is the more interesting truth of the world, rather than this is how the world is, or this is what the sustainer is, or who the sustainer is, or here's what happened. Like, I want to know what was the purpose for making the world the way it is. There's some more interesting things going on if you guys play Honkai Impact at the same time, because for some reason, since patch like 2.0, I think, the themes and the events of Honkai Impact on the main story beats and the themes and events of Genshin Impact on the main story beats have been almost perfectly aligned, which is bizarre. So if you know what's happening in chapter 32 of Honkai Impact right now, you might be looking at Genshin in a very different light, especially in regards to the Golden Slumber, which I think is kind of a how to say, like a sample of what might actually be going on. So there's that. There's that. Do I know arc theory? I'm pretty sure that I'm one of the original people who pitched that idea. That was the first theory on this channel, like forever ago. I might not have been the first one to have the idea, but I think I was one of the ones who pitched it initially in video form, like way back. But yeah, I'm still a heavy proponent of arc, but I am also a heavy proponent of stigma. I think, can I tell us the Project Stigma thing? Sure. If you guys don't want Honkai Impact spoilers, you can leave. I'll try to just give you like an idea of like what it is without telling you much about the people involved. That should kind of avoid as many spoilers as possible. Essentially in Honkai Impact, the Honkai is destroying the planet on an eternal cycle. So every so often, the planet just gets destroyed for reasons that we just won't go into. So it's not that important. Big godly power destroying the world, blah, blah, blah. Humanity fights back, loses, blah, 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 right? So one instance has this group of people who create this ultimate plan to save humanity and to defeat the Honkai once and for all. And the plan is called SAVE, S-A-V-E. And it basically has 4 parts to it. So S is for Project Stigma, A is for Project Arc, V is for Project Voluka, and E is for Project Ember. Of those, Stigma, Arc, and Voluka are the most notable. Voluka doesn't matter too much right now, so it's really just Arc and Stigma. Arc was basically like, as far as anyone can tell, it was a spaceship of sorts that had an entire copy or a backup of humanity, right? And in this backup, they kind of just launched it into space, as far as anyone can tell, and it was supposed to be like the backup that they could go retrieve, or it could find something new, or it could create a new world for humanity away from the Honkai and all that kind of stuff, or like for lack of additional context, that's basically what Ark was. It's like a space version of Noah's Ark, but just for humans. A lot of times people thought that Project Ark was Tevat or became Tevat. I still think that's possible, but it's like really complicated to explain why right now. But in Honkai right now, they're actually more focused on Project Stigma because Ark went missing. Like they haven't been able to contact it in 50,000 years. So as far as they know, it's a failed project because no one's been in contact with it. So there's that. But Stigma is interesting because the idea was that you could basically fuse the human genome with the Honkai genes and become these like hybrid kind of entities. And most of the humanity would not survive this process. It would be like, I think it was like a 0.1% of humanity would actually survive the process, but then you could rebuild civilization and the Honkai would leave you alone because, you know, it's not going to attack itself. So there's that. But one other instance of Stigma that I don't understand too well right now, I have to go read a little bit more about it because I'm gonna get some of the particulars wrong, so I'm just putting that out there right now. But essentially, humans in Project Stigma could also be fused together into a situation that sounds an awful lot like the Golden Slumber. Basically, all of their minds will merge into one, and they will become one entity known as Adam Rouhani. Or something like... I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, but you get the idea. And it would be this big sentient ghost-like being where every person is the will of Adam Rouhani, but also the will of Adam Rouhani is every single person. So like it's like one is all and all is one kind of thing. And it kind of functions like the golden slumber, like the way it sounds like. But it's kind of complicated in its nuances, and it's a little difficult to explain without understanding like everything else that's going on in the Honkai verse right now. But there's a lot of parallels and a lot of similarities, and I think it's very possible that Stigma and Arc are happening at the same time into that. So anyway, like the host dream. Yeah, it's okay. It's kind of like the host dream from the Akasha dream harvesting kind of thing. It's a little bit like that. You could think of it that way. Sorry, I'm reading chat so I can kind of keep up with all this stuff. But yeah. Is there a Honkai lore tuber? Not really. I've been trying to convince Island XD to do more Honkai lore because there's basically no one who does it. And I don't blame anyone for that because, like, for one, the situation with Honkai is strange because the wikis are all over the place. There's like 3 of them, and one of them is incredibly outdated. It's full of wrong information, and it somehow got fused with like the main official wiki, so it ends up confusing a lot of people. And then the other ones just aren't up to date. They're not kept very well. They don't have very good large teams the same way that Genshin does, and it's really unfortunate because Honkai's lore is actually in a lot of ways more complex than Genshin's, because Genshin pulls from a lot of real world things. Honkai kind of doesn't. So you have to have like, you almost have no context for a lot of the stuff that happens, right? You have to know what happens in the story. So the only thing you can really do to understand Honkai lore is to quite literally either play the game yourself or watch someone else play through the story portions. And it's a bit tedious, which is probably one of the reasons why Honkai is a much smaller game in terms of player base than Genshin. Unreal Dreamer doesn't make lore videos about it though. I'm like he does playthroughs on it. Like he's really big on the lore, but like there's not a lot. I really only know of like a couple of YouTubers that focus on Honkai at all and who are interested in the story aspect of it. Hamu Labs is a lore guy. I feel like I've seen that around, but I don't know that there's a lot of like explanation. I don't think they have a lot of explanation videos, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. It's just really hard at this point to get into Honkai because it's so deep and no one's really covering a lot of the stuff. There's not like a huge demand for it as far as I can tell. Doesn't the official Honkai YouTube channel do lore recaps? Listen, they started doing lore recaps and then they gave up. They have like 4 lore recaps and it's like really high level overview, general world building kind of stuff, and that's kind of it. And then they just stopped. Speaking of, is Star Rail on the tree? Do you mean the imaginary tree or just like the general verse? Because like, okay, so Star Rail is interesting because Star Rail actually transcends Honkai Impact. To understand kind of where it is, you have to look at Gnosticism a little bit. Gnosticism says that there are eons, which are basically like the creation of the ultimate god, so to speak. And then one of those eons, Sophia, tried to make a being in her image, just like, God did, and failed and ended up creating something called the Demiurge, but she didn't want to destroy it, so she put it away. She kind of discarded it. And the Demiurge grew up not knowing that anyone created it, so it thought itself to be the ultimate god, and then it therefore created something in its image, and that became humans. And so Genshin is kind of based on this idea that we're being ruled by a demiurge and humans need to transcend, but we can't transcend because we can't go outside the realm of the demiurge. So that's like a very, very basic TLDR. But Star Rail goes above that. So if you think of Honkai as being like the equivalent of the demiurge, the eons are what you deal with in Star Rail. So Honkai would be like a planetary phenomenon. It's like occurring on a planet by planet basis, only affecting one world. But then the eons are in space. They're out in space. So I don't know if you guys have seen any of the Star Rail God leaks, but those are eons. And yeah, so it's like another level. It's what comes after the Honkai. So anyway. Yeah, Honkai lore also contradicts itself a lot. There's a lot of retcons in it. Like they actually retroactively fix things oftentimes, which is infuriating to someone who's like trying to piece together the lore. And sometimes their translations are really bad, like much worse than Genshin's, and they sometimes just don't get addressed at all. So it's a problem. Like Honkai's in a very awkward place as a result of it, and I think that's part of the reason why Star Rail is getting the treatment it is, as kind of like trying to hold on to its Honkai roots, but then to also push it a step further where you don't really need to know what happened in Honkai Impact, but like if you do, it's handy. Like you'll be rewarded with a lot of extra like context, but I don't think it's necessary. Anyway, yeah. So will I play Zenless Zone Zero? No, I won't. Two reasons for that. One, so far I have liked maybe 2 character designs, and the rest are kind of generic for me. And I'm not a big fan of that so far. Usually that kind of aesthetic is my thing, but the problem is I don't really care much for the gameplay. It's like 90% combat, and I'm more of a 50-50 kind of person. I like 50% exploration and story and 50% combat, and that kind of stuff. So I'm not too interested in that. Veluca is the Aranara word for sand, yes, but in Honkai, Veluca is the name of a project where a guy named Su was basically put into his own little subspace bubble that he called the Seed of Sumeru. And he would, from there, remotely view all of these alternate universes to see if any of them have ever come up with a solution to destroying the Honkai and getting rid of it completely. That was Project Veluca. It was also a train, by the way, which is interesting because Honkai Star Rail is a train, so that's fun. Anyway, I think that's all I really have to say today. Like I said, this is a pretty short live stream. I'm gonna be glad for the breather because it means I have time to actually like go through all these theories and produce things. That's gonna be nice. I'm gonna try and get ahead on some scripts if I can. I love this event, the Fabulous Fungus Frenzy. This looks like it's gonna be great. I can't wait for that. The photo events I actually do find quite enjoyable, just because they're interesting. They're usually short. Hypostatic Symphony, I love seeing that show up again. That looks good. And then what was the other one? Adventurers Trials. This looks so interesting. This is the one that I really hope ends up being a Teapot game along with the Fungi. Because it looks like you're like playing soccer and baseball and dodgeball, but like with the characters. I think that's so cool. That's fun. I think that's it. So I mean, I'm not at all displeased with this. It's again, it's a 5-week thing. People are still catching up on exploration for Aranyaka, going through the desert. I know a lot of people still haven't even unlocked like teleport waypoints in the desert and things like that. So I think it's good to have a rest patch right now. One rest patch, and then we maybe get to go to that northern desert region where you see that big sandstorm. And hopefully we'll get some Goddess of Flowers lore. But I want to catch up on some stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so at the entrance of Sumeru City, that's kind of my point. Like I think a lot of people got bombarded with so much content all at once. Like you kind of need to, ease your way through things. So, oh, by the way, before we go, because I'm gonna wrap up here in a bit, because I got a lot of stuff to do today. I gotta finish the script for the Beginner's Guide to Inazuma. I gotta do a short analysis on this video that'll be up in a couple days. And then I have real world things to do that I have to do before the sun goes down. One thing I wanted to mention though, guys, I've had one of the busiest months this October, just like of the last 3 years. I have been so flat out, not just on content creation, which I honestly haven't had nearly as much time for as I wanted to, but just like real life events. And none of them are bad. They're just like big and kind of annoying because they're all coming at once. And so I'm trying to get my footing a little bit. And so the 100,000 milestone mark caught me off guard. So I'm a little behind on it. But I have planned to have an event on October 31st where I will be doing some fun little activities and giveaways and things like that. So pencil it in on your calendars. Because I am gonna do something on that day. Yeah. I know I'm like several weeks late. It's fine, okay? It's fine. I just needed time to catch up, all right? Just need a little bit of breathing room. So anyway, yeah. So Slyboost, thanks for the super chat. Nahida's burst remind you of Storm Terrace Tower or Chasm Pool, maybe. Yeah, I can't figure out what she reminds me of. I might have to go hunting for some stuff. Figure it out. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, Kuro, I have no idea what currency that is, and so I have no context for the amount of the super chat, but it's been up for forever, and so I'm just want to say thank you one more time because it's just a really nice thing to see. Know that you're funding some very cool activities in the next week or two. So thank you all again. Thanks for showing up, guys. I hope you guys aren't too disappointed with everything. I still think her auto attacks are so cute. They're like, it's like hopscotch, but like on a key. I just think they're cute. Anyway, I'm gonna go. But yeah, I'm hyped. I'm excited. I'm hoping very much that October 31st is also going to be the day that I get to stop waiting for potentially playable Scaramouche and I get to tell Senora people that I was right. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you guys. I'm gonna go. See you later.